see you only on Saturday, Sunday. So we'll just have 10 minutes discussion about who Mahaprabhu is, because we should know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, right? It's Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. So they are in one combined form. In Kali Yuga, especially, they have come to deliver the fallen conditioned soul, to give us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and take us back home easily, very easily, right? So so it's better to just know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it's his appearance day on 18th. Okay, so this March 18th, which is Friday, and we're supposed to do a fasting, in the sense he appeared at the time of moonrise. It was like full moon day, full moon night on that day, and it was like evening. So that's the time when so we fast till evening. Those who can take nirjal, okay. Otherwise, you can have Ekadashi fast, like Ekadashi prasad. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so all glories to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who gave us the Harinam, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya, Krishna Chaitanya Namne, Gaura Dishenama. So those who are in Mangalore, please visit a temple, a new temple site. There's going to be a grand Gaura Purnima festival on 18th evening. There's going to be Abhishek and Kirtan and Pravachan and dance and Prasad distribution, everything. Those who can attend online. So I request to you to fast till like 6:30 p.m. so that you can have fruits and all, and then at 6:30 you break Ekadashi. You get lot of glories and mercy on such a day, because the Lord Krishna appeared in Kali Yuga like 500 years ago in form of a devotee. No, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also called Gauranga. Gaura means gold, Anga means limbs. So he who has golden limbs. And he is also called Nimai. When he was young, he was called as Nimai. So we'll just take 10 minutes to do a presentation on who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is and about his pastimes little bit. So he was born to Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi as the 10th son. So there are 8 kids. They died after birth, and the 9th one was Vishwarup, who's an expansion of Sankarshan, and the 10th one was Nimai or Vishwambar, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was born near a neem tree. That's why he's called Nimai. And it was like full moon, but still there was an eclipse also happening. So it was a full moon with eclipse. And the day of when Mahaprabhu appeared, the Purnima or the full moon time, there was eclipse. So for that, all the people, religious, non-religious, everyone started chanting Hari Hari and Hare Krishna mantra and went to the Ganges to take bath, because he appeared in Navadip, Mayapur, where Ganges flow, Ganga. So they all went to take bath because it's auspicious to do that. And hearing the Hariram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. And this is the place in Mayapur we have visited last time, that there is a yoga peeth where it's a house of where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and that's Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra with baby Nimai on her lap. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, that's to see the golden avatar of Krishna, all the demigods. These are all the demigods who came in disguise to give gifts to the golden baby to see the avatar. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was young, when he cries, nothing can pacify him except chanting Hari Hari and the Hare Krishna mantra. All the villagers, whoever is standing around him, they have to chant the Lord's name. Then only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets pacified. And once a big snake came into their house, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nimai started playing with the snake. He's Vishnu. He lies on Ananda Shesh, right? So he was not scared of the snake, but everyone were scared. And then Nimai started rolling over the snake and was having a friendly play. But then, seeing others getting scared, he let go the snake. And then he also, like Krishna, ate mud. No, he was also eating mud, and Sachimata asked him, "What are you doing?" And there's a great philosophy, Achintya Beda Beda Tattvam, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started explaining that all the food and everything comes from the earth. Now, why can't I eat earth? Or a jar is made up of clay, and so we drink water in the jar. So why can't we just eat the mud? So Sachimata says in quality they are earth, but they are different in quantity. So Nimai starts playing with a little puppy that comes to his house, and he wants to keep the puppy, but his mother says no. Then you can't keep this puppy and has to be gone. And then Mahaprabhu, just because he was in the hands of Mahaprabhu, the puppy also started chanting Hari Hari, got delivered. And when he was young, he was with a lot of jewels and all, and two thieves thought of robbing the jewels which Nimai had. So both of them came to Nimai's house, and they took Nimai on the shoulder and took the baby away. Sachimata was not there, and to just take all the jewels. And they told, we'll roam around Navadip and we'll come back. But their intention was to steal the gold. But since they touched the Lord and did service, the Lord was so merciful. He was eating sweets, but then what happened? Yogamaya covered them, and suddenly they thought they went to their house, but they came back to Nimai's house, kept him there, and Nimai ran inside his house. Then they thought, oh, this is not our house, this is Nimai's house, and they escaped. And even when he was very young itself, he was a great scholar. And he's Krishna himself, right? He knows everything. But still, he, as a baby pastime, he took the teachings from his maternal father, Nilambar Chakravarti. And then when Nimai was young, he used to go to his a devotee called Kolaveja Sridhar, who was very poor, who used to sell banana leaves and bananas for a livelihood. But Mahaprabhu, Nimai used to go there and bargain. And for less money, or might be out of free, without paying, he used to get all these bananas and everything, which Kolaveja Sridhar offered. But he was a great devotee. Kolaveja Sridhar was a great devotee. I'm just going through a glimpse, okay? And then once Nimai, they invited a Brahmana to their house, and they wanted to feed the Brahmana. So the Brahmana used to cook by himself and offer to Gopal and take. So first time when the Brahmana cooked and he was offering to Krishna, we keep the bhog, no? He was offering. Little Nimai crawled and came and took the prasad. And Brahmana shouted, what are you doing, Nimai? You spoiled my offering. And then second time again he offered. Again Nimai came and ate. And third time the Brahmana told, I'm not going to cook today. I'll just fast today. I'm not eating. But then everyone requested, please do cook. And then they made Nimai sleep and locked the door so that Nimai doesn't spoil. But still, he's Krishna. He made everyone else sleep. And then Nimai got up again the third time. He went and took the offering of the Brahmana. And the Brahmana was so irritated. But then Nimai said, you're calling me. You're telling Gopal, come and take my offering. Gopal, come. I am only Gopal. No, why are you getting upset when I eat your offering? You should be happy. And then Gopal showed the 8-handed form. With 2 hands, he was eating butter, 2 hands with flute, 2 hands with bow and arrow, 2 hands with danda and kamandalu. He showed that he's Krishna himself, but the Brahmana kept it as a secret. Then Nimai grew up. He became a Nimai Pandit, a great scholar. This is Namadya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He became a great scholar. He married Lakshmi Priya because his mother was very particular in that. And he became a great scholar in the Nyaya philosophy. And very young age itself, he had a lot of students, and he defeated Digvijay Pandit. So Digvijay Pandit was a great scholar, and he was so puffed up that he know many things. And then small Nimai, like 15, 16 years old Nimai, could defeat him because Digvijay Pandit started explaining 100 verses about Ganges, and Nimai could catch 1 point in that and then told, you're wrong. And Digvijay Pandit could not defeat him. And at night, he could not sleep. He was praying to Mother Saraswati, why did I fail in front of a small boy? And Mother Saraswati told, what can I do? That's Krishna, my master. I can't win him. So Digvijay Pandit came to know that Nimai is Krishna himself. And later on, Nimai Pandit went to Gaya because his father passed away. He wanted to do the final rites. So when he went to Gaya, he met Ishvara Puri, his spiritual master, got initiated with Hare Krishna mantra. Once he got initiated, he was in ecstasy. But by then, he was separated from his first wife, Lakshmi Priya. She was in separation. A snake bite her, because a snake bite happened. It's because the pastime is for separation reason. The snake is actually the fire of separation, which took because Lakshmi Devi can't stay with her Narayan, so she ended her pastime. But again, out of Sachimata's request, Nimai married Vishnu Priya. So his elder brother Vishwarup had already taken sannyas. His father passed away, so Sachimata was old. So she requested Nimai to get married again. Got married to Vishnu Priya. She was also a great devotee. And then once he got initiated from Ishwarpuri, he started the Sankirtan movement, and he called Advaitacharya, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas, all of them together. They started the chanting of the holy name. They met in Srivas Angan. That's a house of Srivas, where they met, and they had nice Sankirtan at night, and they used to close the door and windows so that nobody sees, because only close devotees knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna or is a pure devotee. And so he meets Nityananda Prabhu, all of them come, and they have a nice Sankirtan. And this is another reason. Today we're going to see the universal form of Krishna. Also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed the universal form. You can see it was only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna who showed universal form. No other incarnations, Varahadev, Vamanadev, nobody could show, because they are the avatari themselves. The incarnations can't show Vishwarup. Only the Supreme Lord can show. This proves that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Krishna. He showed the universal form to Advaitacharya. This is called Mahaprakash Leela. So he showed it. And then in Srivasangan, they used to have nice kirtan. And then once the Mridanga was broken by Chandkasi, a Muslim emperor, and then Mahaprabhu went there with all torchlight, a lot of processions. All of them went there to attack Chandkasi, but then Chandkasi was so scared, and he asked forgiveness from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he told, I had a dream. Lord Narsimha, a half little man, half lion, came in my dream and was about to rip open my chest. See, I have the marks. So he showed the marks to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Gaur Hari, or who is Narasimha Devi himself. And then Chandkasi asked for forgiveness, and he told, I'll never disturb anyone doing Harinam Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pleased. This is Chandkasi Samadhi, which we went last time in Mayapur. And then Nityananda Prabhu delivers Jagai Madai, the story, you know, no, the two brothers who was drunkard, and then Nityananda Prabhu gets hurt. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to take with the Sudarshan Chakra, but then he delivers them with Harinam. And later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the preaching movement of Sankirtan, and then there was a crocodile who didn't get moksha, and he was cursed. He was a Brahmana boy, a Gandharva actually. So Mahaprabhu went to wash his feet in the river. The crocodile touched his feet and became a Gandharva again. So finally, he was liberated. And later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 24 takes sannyas. Why? We'll see tomorrow what happens in the sannyasa leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so I'm just saying this as a inspiration for you to take up Gaura Purnima fasting and know that yes, he's Krishna himself. Right? Most of us don't know much about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. We know about Krishna Leela, but we don't know much about Gaur Leela. It's given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you like to read. And that's the Adi Leela and Madhya Leela. That's the early childhood pastime and the Pandit pastime. But later on, the Antya Leela is the sannyas pastime, okay, when he receives sannyas. So Mahaprabhu is very merciful and very, very merciful. Anybody chants the holy name, anybody chants the Panchatattva mantra, gets pure love of Godhead if we sincerely pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So 18th Gaura Purnima is the day when we actually sincerely pray to Mahaprabhu to deliver us. We are all Jagai Madais here in this material world. So the only mercy we can get is from Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Radha Krishna. Okay, so let's start with the universal form chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11. Part 1, we'll just finish 27 slokas today. Okay, so all glory to Shri Radha Govinda. Okay, so synopsis of chapter 11. So chapter 11. So in chapter 10, what did we see? What was the chapter 10 discussion on? Can someone unmute? Yes.
Opulence.
Opulence. Very good. So that was basically a. So we saw the opulence, and that was basically a theory. Okay, a theoretical description of the opulences was given, that I am that, I am this. Now Krishna has to prove it. We have to practically see it. No, otherwise people don't believe. There are some reasons why the Lord have to show the universal form. Now in chapter 11, we're going to see the last verse of chapter 10 was Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. The Lord says, with single fragment of myself, I prevailed and support the entire universe, right? And Arjuna wanted to see that form. Arjuna wishes to see. Arjuna asked for it. See, unless you ask questions to the spiritual master, tad vidhi pranipate na pari prashnena sevaya upadeshandite jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Unless you ask questions, you can't learn. We can't learn, right? So Arjuna is asking Krishna, please let me see that form. Not for Arjuna. Arjuna is the eternal associate of the Lord. Not for him, for us, for common people, and to show how great Krishna is. Now, so although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot as a Parthasarathi, he pervades and supports the entire universe. Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form, and Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal his universal forms. Arjuna requested, and since a devotee requests, Krishna grants it, no? Whatever the devotees, because devotee doesn't want any material desires. This is not for Arjuna. Arjuna is already convinced in the 10th chapter, 12th sloka, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Achambam. Arjuna already surrendered after hearing the Chatur sloka of 10th chapter and the 12th sloka. He says, yes, Krishna, I accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Arjuna already accepted. So this universal form is not for Arjuna, it's for people like us, common people, and who think that Krishna is not God, who thinks he's just one of the incarnations. To set a standard in Kali Yuga, many will come and say, I'm God. So to prove that they are not God, you can ask them to show the universal form. So to set a criteria in future, and Arjuna wanted to see and to show how great Krishna is, to prove that yes, in fact, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this chapter, we're going to see Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of his universal form. And then Sanjay also can see the universal form. Why? In the scripture, in the Bhagavad Gita text, we could see that there was proof only that Arjuna and Sanjaya saw. People say Bhishma saw, Drona saw, there's Hanuman in the flag and Hanuman saw Babarik. So many explanations, but we didn't get any evidence, no, as such, the proof as such. So here Sanjaya could see. Why? Unmute. Why could Sanjaya see the universal form?
He's also a pure devotee.
Bhishma was also
divine eyes.
He was given this
Divine eyes.
special divine
eyes. Was given by whom? Who gave it?
Vyasdev.
Vyasdev. Very good. Yes, Vyasdev, because he's the disciple of Vyasdev. Okay. Krishna gave the divine eyes to Arjuna. Vyasdev gave the divine eyes or the blessings to Sanjaya, because Sanjaya is the disciple of Vyasdev. So Sanjaya could see, sitting in the palace, he could see the universal form. And then again, Krishna is saying about time, I am become my instrument. Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. He's going to say that, Arjuna, I have already done everything. You just become an instrument. And Arjuna starts praying. And only pure devotees can see Krishna's as the Supreme Personality. So Arjuna is requesting from the first sloka, and Krishna is going to describe the universal form. So Arjuna requests Krishna to show him that all-pervading form, which he spoke in chapter 10. So in chapter 10, Krishna spoke, I'm that, I'm this, I'm the source of all demigods, right? Aham sarvasya prabho, everything comes from me, everything he spoke. And now Arjuna wants to see that. Krishna first described the universal form before showing it to Arjuna. So Arjuna should, it's not Arjuna is scared or something, but Arjuna is just doing the pastime that a devotee doesn't want to see the universal form. We'll say why. The devotee is not happy with the universal form. Universal form is transcendental, but it's temporary. Okay, it doesn't exist in the spiritual world. But a two-handed form, the Shyamsundara form, or the four-handed Paramatma form, that's there in the spiritual world. And you can't develop the rasas with the universal form. You can go have friendship with the universal form, or you can not chastise the universal form as a son. The Valsalya Madhurya Sakya Ras doesn't come to the universal form. So a devotee is happy to see the two-handed form. Now, he bestows Arjuna the divine eyes to see it. What are the different types of eyes, you know? I think I have discussed this. No? This is divine eyes. Any other eyes, you know? Chakshus. Any other type of chakshus? What do we have? We have charma chakshus. Okay. Then divine eyes. Above that, there's something called prema chakshus. and also Shastra Chakshus. Okay, so what we have is Charma Chakshus. That means just skin. It's just materialized. We can't see universal form. We can't see the Lord. We can't appreciate Dham. We are in contamination. That's the materialized or Charma Chakshus. Above that is divine eyes. This divine eyes, okay, which is transcendental. Above that is Prema Chakshus, which is like ointment of love. It's only for pure devotees. And there's one more called Shastra Chakshus, that you see something through the Shastras. Okay, now Arjuna was already in Prema Chakshus state. He was already a Prema Bhakta or a pure devotee. He actually had to come down to a divine form. Actually, initially he had the highest, but it said that Krishna bestowed the divine eyes. Definitely it's Krishna's mercy, otherwise Arjuna could not see. Arjuna uvaja mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samkitam yat tvayoktam vachastena mayo ayam pikato mama moho ayam vikato mama. Arjuna said, I have heard your instructions on confidential spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled. So he had lot of problems, right? Lamentations, the 5 lamentations Arjuna had, and now slowly everything is getting dispelled, because Krishna already said about his opulences, and by hearing everything that Krishna has said, Arjuna's illusion is now removed. So effect of hearing is the most confidential knowledge, right? He already heard it, and Arjuna's illusion is dispelled. So Krishna's supremacy is revealed here. And chapter 11 reveals Krishna as the cause of all cause. He is the cause of material nature, that is the his Bahya Shakti, the external energy. Then the living entities, the marginal Tadastha Shakti, and all demigods. He says, Aham Adirhi Devanam, I'm the source of all demigods and all incarnations. And he is the cause of the Mahavishnu, the expansion. How was the illusion dispelled? Because Arjuna recognized that by the power of Krishna's grace, by which illusion is dispelled. Only when Krishna is pleased with your devotional service, he wants to reveal to you, you will be able to understand Krishna. Otherwise, it's not easy. And what illusion is dispelled? That Krishna is an ordinary friend or a human being. Okay, he thought, initially he was saying, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi, I was calling you all that, but now I understand that you are the Supreme Lord. Then why did Arjuna request Krishna to show the universal form? Let's see. He's saying, O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity as realized through your inexhaustible glories. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form. Though I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. See? So Arjuna is requesting, I want to see that form. Like how you are saying that you are the source of everything. But unless there is a universal form chapter, how is common people going to believe that Krishna is, whatever Krishna is saying is fact? You learn Benedict's test and everything in chemistry. And when you go to the lab, when you do the test, you see the ring, then you realize, oh, this is true. Whatever theory I have learned, that's true, because practically it's visible. Similarly, Arjuna wants to see, if you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, oh my Lord, oh Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self. So Arjuna is requesting again and again, I want to see the universal form. Otherwise, Krishna wouldn't have showed it. It's because of his request. And who made Arjuna say this? Krishna. It's all Krishna's plan now. Arjuna expressed his desire to see the form which supports and pervades the entire universe. Okay. And why Arjuna requests Krishna to show the universal form? To establish Krishna's divinity for all. Like everyone should accept that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and to convince others, although he does not have any personal desire, simply completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. Arjuna didn't want to actually see the universal form, but it's to convince others who think that Krishna is just an ordinary person, and to avoid imposters. In that sense, he wants to set a criteria for future, that if there will be so many so-called God, they say that I'm God, and then if someone come and fools you, you can say, okay, if you're God, show your universal form. No, they're supposed to, because it said that only the avatari or the Lord can show the universal form. So to set a criteria in future, especially in Kali Yuga, nobody should come and pose. And Arjuna wants to substantiate Krishna's statement that not only theoretically, but philosophy actually he shows his form. So not theory, practically he shows it. Okay, so these are the reasons why Krishna showed the universal form. Okay, and Arjuna want to show how great Krishna is, and to convince others who think Krishna is ordinary to know that Krishna is the supreme, to set a criteria in future. Okay, and also to prove practically whatever Krishna said about the opulences. So Arjuna pleads and does not order to see Krishna's form. He's not, hey Krishna, show the universal form. No, not like that. He's requesting. What is the qualification to see the Lord's form? Only by revelation, by the Lord's mercy. Not possible by material speculation or perception of material senses. And Lord is addressed as Yogeshwara, right? He is the master of all mystics. So the qualification required to see the Lord's form is Lord's mercy, definitely, and the divine eyes to see the Lord. We are supposed to see the divine eyes. Anybody know that sloka from Brahma Samhita? Premanjana Chirida Bhakti Vilochanena. No? That's a qualification to see Krishna. Prema jana chirida bhakti vilochanena santa sataiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundara achintya guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So prema jana chirida bhakti vilochana. If you don't have the ointment of love, then we won't be able to see the Lord. Okay. So yes. So the Lord said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, behold now my opulences, hundreds and thousands of very divine forms, multicolored like the sea. So now Krishna is giving a trailer. So before the new release of the movie, we have a trailer, so that we know what is going to be there. So Krishna is this is all by theory. He's saying again that what you're going to see. He's giving a theoretical explanation that it will be multicolored and there'll be thousands of forms. O best of Bharata, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, all the demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one have ever seen or heard before. Right? Why Krishna saying this? No one have ever seen or heard before. But someone else have seen, no? Who else have seen the universal form before? When Krishna ate the mud, who saw in his mouth?
Sudama.
Yashodamaya, right? And then before the battle started, Krishna went for some peace with someone, and he showed the universal form. Who was that? From the opposite party.
Yeah, Bhishmadev Sadhas, Bhishmadev, Sanjaya.
Not Drona. Who was leading Kauravas? Duryodhana. Yes. When Krishna went for a peaceful compromise, he went and asked Duryodhana, please at least give 5 villages to the Pandavas. No, you can avoid the war. Actually, Krishna tried to avoid the war, but Duryodhana was so adamant. He's like, no, I'm not going to give anything. And then Krishna showed actually the universal form to Duryodhana. Okay. That's what, there's no proof that Bhishmadev have seen. But yes, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, but it's not commended in the Bhagavad Gita. So I cross-checked with Namanishta Prabhu, and he says, only Arjuna got the divine eyes, and Sanjaya, because he was Vyasadev's disciple. Others, we don't have the evidence that they have, because here in Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned these two have seen. So Duryodhana have seen before. But now Krishna is saying no one have ever seen or heard before. Why? Because Yashodamaya saw the universe in Krishna's mouth. She didn't see the scary form of fire coming out of the mouth. She saw only half. Even Duryodhana saw only half of the universal form. It's only Arjuna who's going to see the entire universal form. So the universal form is like each part you see, it's again like 360 degrees. I mean, so much it is there. You can't count. It's so much. Okay. It also had a Kala Rupa, a scary part. So Krishna didn't show that to Yashodamaya. It was Arjuna who could see it first. And whatever you wish to see can be seen at all once in this body. This universal form can show you all that you now desire, as well as whatever you may desire in future. Everything is here completely. Okay. So that's very important to know that Krishna is going to bestow his mercy and say that everything is here. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes by which you can behold my mystic opulences. So initially, when atheists, Mayavadis, they come, it's like, okay, you worship Krishna, show us Krishna, where is Krishna, and all that things. But they should be qualified, to see. It's not easy. With this blunt eyes, imperfect senses, can we see microorganisms? We need a microscope. We need telescope to see the stars. And with this blunt eyes, imperfect senses, what are we expecting to see the Supreme Lord? So now that's nato mam sakshase drishtum anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshu pashya me yogam aishwaram. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulences. So because you can't, so Krishna is, Arjuna could see anyway, he's a pure devotee, but Krishna is showing us, for example, that you need divine eyes or love of Godhead to see the Lord. Otherwise, it's not easy. So we all go for a 3D movie, we get spectacles like this. Why? The vision becomes clear, otherwise it's blurred. Similarly, some divine eyes was blessed by Krishna. Lord Krishna responds by offering to show Arjuna his opulences, and Krishna describes his universal form. Krishna shows varied form, okay? It is variety and vision of wonderful forms he show. No one else have ever seen or heard of this before, and vision of the entire universe he gets, and vision of past, present, and future. Okay. I'll take questions towards the end. You need a divine vision by Krishna's grace. By Krishna's grace, you will be able to see. Otherwise, it's not. Okay, lower level vision according to Acharyas. Actually, this universal form is not for devotees. Duryodhana was not a devotee. He was demonic, right? So Krishna shows the universal form not for devotees. Why Krishna showed universal form to Duryodhana? At least then he'll be convinced, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, I should listen to him. But demonic people, even if Krishna, the Lord, comes in front of them, they're never going to accept him as the Supreme Lord. So Krishna tried once, but then Krishna understood. If there is no war, there is no Bhagavad Gita. So I need to do the war. So Krishna planned in such a way. And Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Sanjaya is going to hear, he heard from from Krishna, and he's going to say to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjaya describes how Krishna bestows upon Arjuna the necessary vision, and Arjuna then beholds Krishna's universal form. Then Arjuna could see. So Krishna's universal form opulences is described in 14th sloka to 19, and Krishna's Kala Rupa form of time. He's also saying Kalospe. When the Kala Rupa, we'll see the form. Okay. Sanjaya uvaja evam yukva tado rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshayamasha partaya paramam rupamaishwaram. Sanjaya said, O king, speaking thus, the supreme, the lord of all mystic power, the personality of God, had displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So Sanjaya could see with his divine eyes given by Vyasadev, and then Dhritarashtra is hearing. But Dhritarashtra could not take it and could not understand, like Duryodhana. Now, even if Duryodhana saw the universal form, Duryodhana could not accept Krishna as the supreme personality. And demonic people are like that. Arjuna saw, what did Arjuna see? Now Krishna displayed the universal form. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouth, unlimited eyes. He can't count. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine dazzling ornaments, arrayed in many garbs. He was garlanded gloriously, and there was many scents smeared all over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. So there's limitations in the pictorial representation. You can't give the whole thing. But just imagine all around you, there's a form, big form. You can't even count. Can you count? It's unlimited heads, unlimited colors. Okay, and then you can see the Kala Rupa, snake with fire coming, and also all the Kauravas and everyone going inside the mouth of Krishna. Everything Arjuna was like seeing it. If hundreds of thousands of sun rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So one sun, like now it's summer is coming up and then it's so hot. One sun itself, you can't bear the heat and the light. Just imagine thousands of suns rising at the same time. That much effulgent it was. And what is that light coming from the Lord's body called as?
Divya Jyoti.
Brahmajyoti, right? That's the Brahman or the Brahmajyoti. Yes. So that's the effulgence that's coming from the Lord's body. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord unlimited expansion of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many thousands forms. So it was an unlimited form, and each form was getting expanded again and again and again. So that was the universal form. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord. So he was astonished. Actually, he's not, but Krishna is just putting him in Yogamaya so that Arjuna ask for the 400 form and then 200 form later on to prove that 200 form is eternal. We'll see that. So now he was in ecstasy and he started praying. Okay, so in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is said the different rasas with the Lord, right? We have Shanta, Dasi, Sakhya, Valsalya, Madhurya, right? Rasanama, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Madhyeyi, Pancha Pradana. So there are 12 rasas with the Lord and 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. So what are the 5 primary rasas you have? That is Shanta. What is Shanta ras? What is Shantaras? Anyone? Can you give some example of Shantaras?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Like you serve like as a flower on the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yes, very good. That's Shantaras. That means it is like in a neutrality mentality, right? No much rasas in it. In a neutral form, yes, as a very nice example, lotus flower at the lotus feet of the Lord. And also Ananda Shesh, when Lord Vishnu is lying on Ananda Shesh, is a Shantaras. The cows are in Shantaras. So, okay, that's neutrality. What about, so that's neutral. What about Dasya? Dasya means?
Servant.
Servant. And so as a server, who was in a Dasya form? Who's the best example?
Hanumanji.
Hanumanji, very good. Yes, Hanuman. So in Dasyaras means as a servant. We all are eternal servant of the Lord, but still in the servant attitude, Hanuman was in excellence. Sakhya.
Sudama.
Friendship. Sudama, Arjuna, right? All they were in friendship. Okay, good. So Sakhya is friendship. And what about Valsalya?
Yashoda Mata.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, so that is parental affection, right? Yashoda Maya, Nanda Baba, Vasudeva, Devaki, all of them. So they are in Vatsalya ras or parental relationship with the Lord. Madhurya ras.
Gopis.
Yes, the gopis. Very good. That's called conjugal love. That the gopis of Vrindavan and Radharani. Very good. So that's Madhurya ras. Okay, conjugal love. These are the 5 primary rasas. The chief transcendental mellows experienced with the Supreme Personality Godhead are 5. That's a primary rasa. So when we start doing devotional service, you reach to a stage of bhav, ado, shraddha, sadhu, sangha, bhajana, kriya, all that. You come to bhava, prem. That's for pure devotees. Okay, we can't imitate. But then we should always remain as a servant. Gopi bhakta padakamala, dasa dasa anudas, jivera sorubhoi, krishna nitya das. So we should be the servant of the Lord. Not in a shantaras also, but we should serve the Lord. That is devotional service, what we are doing. We should be in Shantaras. We can't just jump and act like gopis, dressing up. They're called sahajiyas. I mean, they dress up. When you go to Vrindavan, especially, you see the males gets dressed up like females, and they say they are the gopis of Krishna. But they don't chant. They don't know the scriptures. Prabhupada's like, don't fall for them. I mean, we can't reach to the stage of gopis unless you develop that bhav, the transcendental bhav. It's not easy to come to that stage. So we are in Dasya stage. We should serve Krishna in that way. But as we advance in devotional service, as you start chanting Shuddhanam, and after you develop that bond with Krishna, there can be a friendship with Krishna. You can develop Valsalya ras with Krishna and also Madhurya. So these are the 5 primary ras. Then you have 7 secondary rasas, altogether 12. So what are they? Hasya, Albuda, Veera, Karuna, Raudra, Bibhatsa, Bhaya, Panchavida Bhakte, Gauna Sapta Rasa Haya. In addition to the 5 direct mellows, there are 7 indirect mellows like laughter, wonder. When Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, all the Gopas and Gopis were like in wonder. Like they're like, what is Krishna doing at the age of 7? And chivalry, pathetic feeling, anger. There are transcendental anger. When Krishna steals butter, the gopis, Radharani, they get angry. That's not in a material platform. That is transcendental anger called Man Leela. There's something called Man Sarovar, and so many places in Vrindavan these Leela happened. Disaster, fearfulness. So these are also rasas by pure devotees, but this is also a relationship with Krishna. Now, Arjuna was here in Sakyaras, right? But when he saw the universal form, Arjuna's rasas little bit changed. He became to a dasi form. He's like, Krishna, who is this? I mean, I thought you were my friend, my cousin, but then after hearing the opulence itself, he started coming to the dasi stage. But what about Gopas in Vrindavan? Krishna lives Govardhan Hill. Hey, Krishna, you are not doing that. Your father is Vishnu's devotee, so someone else is helping you, not you. Krishna is God. I mean, nobody believes Krishna is God in Vrindavan because of too much of love. So that Sakyaras is special in Vrindavan, but outside Vrindavan, it gets altered. Mishrita, Aisvarya Mishrita Sakya, it becomes, here it's Shuddha Sakyaras. Also Yashoda Maya, seeing the universe in the mud, I mean, in the mouth, she thought he ate mud, but when she saw Yogamaya covered, and she was like, Krishna, come. And she tied him in the mortar, and she used to chastise and run with a stick behind him. But Devaki Mata, when she saw that 400 Chitrapuja form appeared in the jail, and then he became a small baby, she didn't go hug Krishna. Or after Krishna killed Kamsa and came back, Devaki Mata was like this. I mean, in her Valsalyaras, little got disturbed to Dasya form, because outside Vrindavan, it's not pure Valsalyaras. In Vrindavan, it's Shuddha Valsalyaras. And even Madhuryaras for the gopis. Everything is so pure in Vrindavan. But outside Vrindavan, it gets mixed. Now, Krishna, so these are the 5 primary rasas. We have 7 secondary rasas, okay? Laughter is, the hasya means laughter, and wonder is albhuta, chivalry is veera, pathetic is karuna, anger is raudra, disaster is bibhatsa, and fearful is bhaya. So now Arjuna, so see, he became like this. He's a friend, but then now he came to a dasya bhav after seeing the universal form. So Arjuna speaks his realization of the universal form now. What does he say? Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods. Because Krishna said in the previous chapter, right? Aham Adirhi Devanam, I'm the source of demigods. Now Arjuna could see everyone there, Lord Shiva, Brahma, all of the demigods there assembled in his body. And various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower as well, and Lord Shiva, many sages and divine serpents. So what does this prove? That yes, Krishna is the source. He's avatari. Etecham sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So when people say that Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, it's after coming to Krishna consciousness, yes, before, that's what we heard, right, in the Dashavatar. But then when you take the Dashavatar Stotra written by Jayadev Goswami, the original one, there's no Krishna given there. It's Keshavadrida Rama Sharira, Keshavadrida Buddha Sharira, Keshavadrida Meena Sharira, or Narsimha Narahari Rupa. Keshava, who's Keshava? Why did Krishna get the name Keshava? Yes?
He killed the demon, Kesi.
Very good. Yeah, he killed the demon called Keshi. So there's a place called Keshi Ghat when you go for Vrindavan Parikrama near Yamuna. That's a horse demon who came, Keshi, and Krishna with his fist killed the Keshi demon. So he got the name Keshava. Now, Keshava Drida Rama Sharira. Keshava has come in form of Ram. Keshava Drida Meena Sharira has come in a form of fish, or Keshava Drida Buddha Sharira. So means what? Keshava or Krishna had come in these incarnations. So Krishna, how can he become an incarnation, right? In fact, Vishnu's expansion of Krishna, will come to see the 400 form, 200 form, the difference. Now, so once you come to Krishna consciousness, you should be aware of this fact that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, and he is avatari, and all others are his expansion. Okay, now, then he says, whole Lord of the universe, I see in your universal form many, many forms. Bellies, mouths, eyes expanded without limit. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is no middle to this. Can you count from where the universal form started? Is it from here or here or here? Can you say where it's going to end? Where is the middle? Nothing, because it's like ever existing and ever, infinity. No, Krishna's form is like that. It's transcendental, and we won't be able to understand the Lord. Nobody can understand Lord in full. Nobody. Even his pure devotees, like Brahma, praise in Brahma, after the Brahma Vimoha Leela, Brahma says, might be people, they say that they know Krishna. When we say about Putana Leela, oh, I have heard it 100 times. When from my childhood, I'm hearing Putana Leela. Agasur, Bakasur, everything I know. Now that's what we say. I know everything about Krishna. But then that's wrong. Nobody can understand completely about Krishna. Even Brahma says, let people say that they know you, but I don't know you, Krishna. Who's saying? Brahma, the supreme living entity in the material world, is saying that. The secondary creator is saying, I don't know you. So, and even Krishna himself says, I don't understand myself. That's why he had to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So nobody can understand Krishna as a whole because he's unlimited. As we do devotional service, as we are sincerely chanting and doing our devotional service, Krishna reveals Swayameva Spuratyada, by his mercy. By his mercy, he sees two things: your endeavor, your parishram, and mercy. And through the help of an acharya, like Srila Prabhupada, by a mercy of a pure Vaishnava or a devotee, we can understand Krishna. But so much endeavor, some hard work should be there from our side. We should have the desire to know Krishna, right? Otherwise, there's no end for the Lord, and we won't be able to understand him unless we get his mercy. So your form adorned with various crowns, clubs, this is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun. Now Arjuna is like, I can't take this form anymore. You are the supreme primeval objective. You are the best in all the universe. You are inexhaustible. You are the oldest, Adi Purusham, and you are the maintainer of religion, the eternal personality of Godhead, because he sees everything in Krishna and he says he's inexhaustible. You are the origin without beginning, middle, or end. You have numberless arms, and the sun and the moon are among your great unlimited eyes. So actually the sun and the moon is supposed to be Krishna's eyes, actually they said. Okay, by your own radiance, you are heating this entire universe. So Krishna says, Rasohamapsa Kaunteya Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayo. Now I am the light of sun and moon. So when we see sun and moon, do we realize that's Krishna? We drink water, do we realize the taste of water is Krishna? That means we are not in Krishna consciousness yet. But Srila Prabhupada was not like that. Every moment he could see Krishna. Pure devotees are like that. They don't see moving, non-moving things. They see their Ishtadeva or Krishna there. So now this is how he saw. So now here it is seen like all the Kauravas are going into Krishna's mouth, right? What does this mean? It means two things. What is it?
So first that they are already dead, and
Yes.
Arjuna is only an instrument for
Yes.
things to take shape or take place.
Very good. So already Krishna says that I have killed them and you been an instrument. What is the second thing? When Krishna is showing that all the Kauravas, Bhishma, Drona, all are going in his mouth, yes, they're going to die, and Arjuna is an instrument. What is it? What else?
Everything is happening according to the plan of the Lord.
Definitely, yes. Everything is already happening according to Krishna's plan, and we don't have any role. We just can become an instrument. Do they get moksha? Does it signifies moksha or mukti? Does like all the Kauravas get moksha? Yes or no?
No.
No?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, because
the
it
Krishna
goes
was present
in the
on
mouth.
the battlefield.
Yeah, because they are killed in the presence of Krishna, or anybody gets killed by Krishna or in his presence, definitely get moksha. But that Prabhu is right, whoever said, they get temporary moksha. They don't get permanent moksha. Huh? Moksha means what? Coming out of birth, death cycle. And also not taking rebirth again, right? Not just ending, not taking rebirth. But this type of moksha is a little risky. And what is this type of mukti called as? Out of all the 5 mukti, what is this mukti called? What is the mukti which the demons get? Very good. Sayujya mukti. That means you merge into the Brahman effulgence. The demons, they merge into the Brahman effulgence, but definitely they'll come back. There is a chance of falling down. Because how can a devotee get mukti and the demons like Kauravas and Kamsa and Agasur, Bagasur, they also get the same mukti? And Krishna is doing very partial in that way. No, they get what they desire. So if someone is killed by the hands of Krishna, someone is killed in the presence of Krishna. Krishna was there in the Kurukshetra war. I was reading some purport of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, when Draupadi was insulted in the gambling area, no, when when Duryodhana ordered Dushasan to pull the sari of Draupadi, Krishna could have killed all of them right then. No, he can give the sari, protect Draupadi. He could have killed. When Bhima was given poison, he could have killed. When the hut was burnt, when they went for Vanavas, he could have killed. So many instances happened that Krishna could have just like that killed. Why did Krishna wait? And Shishupali insulted. So many things happened. Krishna waited for the right moment. Why? Prabhupada writes there that Krishna made his pastimes easy. That he want every demon, every demonic people to come in the Kurukshetra war so that he can finish them all at once. So that his killing process of his pastimes are done in a quick way. Krishna didn't want to take effort to kill each one of them separately. Everyone was killed right time in the Kurukshetra war. And yes, by showing this, Krishna shows that all of them have already gone into his mouth. In the sense, Krishna have already killed them. Arjuna, you just become an instrument, right? When a father is riding the bike, we keep small children in front. Does that mean the child is riding? But the child think I am driving. And the father goes for a ride and come back. The child can't even hold the motorbike. It's actually the father driving. So it's like that. Arjuna is just an instrument. Krishna is actually doing all the work here. And as Mataji told, yes, Krishna's plan is plans everything for good, and then they get moksha also. They get moksha. That's Krishna's special mercy, right? Even if you're a demonic person, if you get killed by Krishna, you get killed in the presence of Krishna, you get moksha. But that's a temporary moksha called Sayujampi. And the third point is proves that Arjuna, you're going to win. This is the third thing. Krishna gives a indirect message to Arjuna that Arjuna, you are going to win anyway because I'm going to destroy all of them. If you want, you take the credit. No, he's saying that if you want, you take the credit. Okay, so although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. Oh, great one, I behold this terrible form. I see that all planetary systems are perplexed. Now Arjuna is getting bewildered by this form. All the demigods are surrendering and entering into you. They are very much afraid. With folded hands, they are singing the Vedic hymns. Even the demigods are scared to see this form. The demigods are also devotees, no? But Shiva is Vaishnavana Meda Shambho. And all the demigods are devotees. Devotees don't want to see the scary universal form. They want to see the cute Shyam Sundar form of Krishna. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, Adityas, Vasus, Sadhyas, Vishwadevas, the two Ashwinis, the Marutas, the forefathers, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, all were there. The perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. Now all of them like was there in the universal form, and then it was like so much wonder to see the form. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed by seeing your many faces, eyes, arms, bellies, and legs, and your terrible teeth. As they are disturbed, so am I. So we don't want to see this anymore. No devotee wants to see this universal form. This is for demonic people. Oh, all pervading Vishnu, I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. Seeing your radiant colors filling the sky and beholding your eyes and mouth, I'm afraid. So Arjuna is like, please, I don't want to see this anymore. Just come back to your normal form. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all the soldiers were rushing into the mouth of Krishna, and their heads were smashed by his fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed between your teeth as well. So this is what we saw in the previous slide, that Krishna shows he's already killing them. They're getting moksha, and Krishna also gives an indication, Arjuna, you're going to win. So yeah, as the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors were entering into Krishna's mouth and getting perished. So I think we have to stop here, and we'll continue the rest of how Krishna now comes to the 400 form, and then again he comes to the 200 form and say to Arjuna, this is my eternal form. So Krishna himself proves that this is my eternal form. Okay, so all the warriors, everyone were going into Krishna's mouth, and Krishna proves that they're going to get moksha anyway. And then anyway, I'm going to kill Arjuna. You fight or not, I have already killed them. So I have already done it. Sometimes we win something, we get some award at work or something, we win something, or we get some position or something, and we become so proud that, oh, I did it. Now we feel that, but actually we are just an nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. We are just an instrument in the hands of the Lord, and it's actually the Lord who's helping us doing it. And the three modes of material nature. Who are we? The soul is desiring and doing things, but it's actually Krishna's mercy. Whatever happens in our life, whatever credits, and also the negative things coming to us, it is our karma coming. And Krishna, as a witness, as a super soul, is just witnessing the karma coming back to us. We did the sin, we have to suffer the reaction. You can't blame Lord for that, no. But the soul desired to do the sin, so we are suffering the reaction. But once you surrender to Krishna, once you become his devotee, then Krishna takes charge of all it. Now, sometimes devotees don't believe in go to this, see this horoscope and all that thing, astrology, because yes, it's the stars which influence you, but actually who's controlling the stars? Krishna, right? He's above all that, and they are the order carriers of Krishna, so he can change the destiny of a devotee. Or prayers can do wonders. That's why praying to the Lord, not for material things, but prayers will definitely help for a devotee too. And any obstacles coming in our life should also be taken as Krishna's mercy, and we should become an instrument in Krishna's life, his hands. So if you become an instrument, Prabhupada writes in his poem, I'll become a puppet in your hand, make me dance as you like. When you become an instrument in Krishna's hand, then everything, life becomes so easy for us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, so that was Prabhu's question about Duryodhan, right? How Duryodhan saw the universal form without divine eyes. That was again Krishna's mercy that time, because this universal form was to scare Duryodhan. Like Krishna asked for 5 villages, and Duryodhan's like, no, actually the kingdom belonged to them, right? Pandu, their father, was the king, but he died in young age, so the kingdom had to be given to Vidura. But Vidura is again a Shudra son, so Vidura could not be made this king, and then it had to be given to Dhritarashtra. Actually, the kingdom was to be given to the Pandavas, but Pandavas were young at that time, they could not take the kingdom. So for time being, Dhritarashtra was taking care of it. But then Dhritarashtra became jealous and envious, and then he was selfish. He thought, let my sons become the kings. Actually, it belonged to the Pandavas, but no, there was so much of politics happening. And then, so Krishna wanted to scare Duryodhan and say that, Duryodhan, you're doing wrong. You're in adharma. Give at least 5 villages. And what did Duryodhan reply? I won't even give us a drop of space where a needle can stand. If a needle has to lie down, there's little bit space. But if a needle, you keep it vertically, it's like a dot of space. Even that I won't give. That's what Duryodhan said. And then Krishna just wanted to show his power. So he was so angry at Duryodhan, and he just showed a part of the universal form. At least by like that, Duryodhan could understand Krishna as a supreme and could agree. But then at that time, it was Krishna's mercy again, that Duryodhan got that divine eyes for some time just to see that form, and then he forgot again. Okay. Yes, Bhavna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I met somebody who asked me this question, so I have to get the answer. He said, if anybody starting from the child to the adult only gets the fruit of the karmic reactions and the karmas that the person has done, so is Prahlad Maharaj also a sinner that he got in birth into Hiranyakashipu's family and such bad father and all relatives and so much trauma in his life?
No, pure devotees are not coming, suffering their karma. Kunti Devi and all the Pandavas, they also suffered so much. The Prahlad also suffered so much, but that they are not taking their karma and coming. They are eternal associates of the Lord. Okay, pure devotees. Why Krishna made them suffer and undergo all these? So that Krishna shows by example that, see how my pure devotees behave when there is reversals in life. Just to set an example, Krishna have created such an environment for his pure devotees, and all of Srimad Bhagavatam is full of reversals, Mataji. You take from Parikshit Maharaj being bitten by a snake, no, Takshak, and then Kunti Maharani, then the Pandavas, Bhishma, pure devotees, so much of suffering, Gajendra, actually the whole Bhagavatam is full of sufferings to show that, and then they get moksha. and they get love of God, and to show how a pure devotee behaves at the time of reversal. So Prahlad is not suffering his karma. Pandavas are not suffering the karma. When Krishna descends to appear to do his pastime, he wants his devotees to be glorified. Because Prahlad is one of the Mahajans, 12 Mahajans. No, Mahajans are someone we should try to follow them. So Prahlad's teachings or Prahlad's life shows us that whatever obstacles comes in your path in devotion service, even if it's your father, if you have determination, definitely you can reach perfection, and you should not stop devotional service. So Krishna is showing by example, Mataji. It's just like a film where the people take different characters to give us a moral of the story, or just give us some advice. So Krishna is just want to prove how great his devotees is, and so that we can take inspiration from their life. Okay, just like that. It's not their karma coming back. Never. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, anyone else have a question? Hare Krishna. So all of you, please, those who are in Mangalore, those who could visit, please come to Mangalore and then be a part of Gaura Purnima. Great grand festival is going to happen. That's the place where our new temple is going to come up, that 1.5 acres land, and everything will be shared in your WhatsApp group. So if you can, or else try to fast on that day and try to get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Harini Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes. Can you be a little louder?
Mataji,
Huh.
audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, my question is about you said that the demons, when they are killed in front of Krishna, they get temporary liberation, right?
Yes.
So, but the case of Putana, she also was a demon.
Yes.
But and Bhagavatam, it is written that she got liberation and was serving as nurse in the spiritual sky.
Yes.
One thing. So it is not temporary. It's not temporary liberation here.
No, that's a special case. Putanas, nice you took that topic. Putanas is a special case. You know who was Putana in her previous life? Putana was, Putana was actually the daughter of Bali Maharaj. Okay, when Vamanadev, when Lord came in the dwarf incarnation as Vamanadev, so he came, he was a dwarf, right? And then he was so cute to be seen that she was Ratnamala. Putana was Ratnamala in that incarnation as Bali Maharaj's daughter, and she was so much attracted to that small kid as Vamanadev, Upendra, that she had a desire that I wish I become his mother, or I wish I could feed him my milk. So that was one desire she had. The next moment, Vamanadev became so huge, and he, in one step, he took the earth, the other step, he took the sky, and the third step, he didn't know what to do. He kept on Bali Maharaj's head, right? And he pushed him to Sutalok. That time, Ratnamala was so angry with this boy, because she didn't know it's the Lord. She's like, I wish I gave him poison and killed him. So she had two wishes. And Krishna is in a heart as Paramatma, and he sees the desire. He's like, Tatastu for both. So she had a desire to feed him milk. She also had a desire to give him poison. So Ratnamala in the next incarnation came as Putana, so that she could fulfill both her desires. As a demon, she gave poison, but along with milk, her breast milk. Now, Krishna is so merciful that he took only the best part from her, even though she gave poison, even though her intention was to kill Krishna. But since Krishna drank the milk of Putana, he's like, she's my mother. So Shukadeva Goswami explains how merciful Krishna is. There's a verse in Uddhava says about the Lord. I think it's in 3rd canto, Mataji. It says, Aho bhagiyam stanakala kudam jijam sayapyaya dasatri labe gatim tatri uchitam tatonyam kamba dayalom sharanam brajeme. How merciful Krishna is that Bhagi is the sister of Bhakasur. So Putana is the sister of Bhakasur, the demon, the bird demon. And Aho Bhagiyam Stana Kala Kudam, she have put poison in her breast and came to give to Krishna. But Labe Gadim Tatri Uchitam Tadunim, she got the position of mother. Kamba Dayalu, how merciful Krishna is. So that's a special case of Putana, that she had a history, and that's how Krishna fulfilled. But Krishna, even though unwillingly you serve Krishna, Krishna takes the positive thing. So it's just to show us an example that Krishna doesn't see the negatives in you. He takes any small service. Oh, she gave milk. Let me make her my mother. Okay.
And,
So,
and Mataji,
yes.
what happened to Kamsa? Kamsa
Yeah.
also was killed by Krishna.
Yes,
So-
actually. So it seems he got Sayujamik Mukti again, Kamsa, because he was killed by Krishna. And then in next incarnation, when Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's Kamsa who came as Chandkasi, who broke the Mridanga, the pastime. So that Chandkasi is Kamsa. So he came back again to in Lord's pastime.
Okay.
Okay.
And Mataji, coming to when Krishna went to Duryodhan to show his universal form, and then where Krishna is requesting Duryodhan to give his 5 land to Pandava, etc. But when Krishna is present in Duryodhan as Paramatma, right?
Yes.
So it was he who was doing this lila, he was refuting, right? Because he wanted this Bhagavad Gita to take place on Kurukshetra, right?
Yes,
so
definitely. And he also wanted to give moksha to other Kauravas also. Like all of them got moksha, right? So Krishna planned it. Yes.
No. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Rati, Akarati.
Yeah, Mataji, I just want to just, I find little inconsistency. Maybe that's my understanding is wrong. See, Vidura is considered Shudra just because his mother was Shudra.
Yes. Otherwise, he's a Brahmana. Vidura is a pure devotee, no?
Exactly. So
yes,
when people are not, those days it is said that people were treated not based on their birth, but based on their qualities.
Yes, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. That's what's supposed to. But Dhritarashtra was so cunning and envious that you remember why did Vidura leave home? Vidura actually throwed his bow and arrow and left home because Duryodhan insulted Vidura. And Vidura didn't want to stay there. Vidura went and told Dhritarashtra. He was so compassionate to Dhritarashtra and told, don't listen to your son. Your son is going to destroy the whole kingdom and don't listen to him. So Duryodhan was so angry and pushed Vidura actually outside the home. And Vidura took it as a positive instant. Vidura is a pure devotee. Vidura is Brahmanical by qualification. He's the best among all the devotees at that time, right? He was pure devotee. Vidura had all the Brahmanical quality. He was the best person. Krishna liked him. And Vidura thought, why do I stay here? I don't want to stay here. So he went to the forest to meet Maitreya Muni to get transcendental knowledge. And he read Bhagavatam and he spent his time. And after the Kurukshetra war was over, all the Kauravas were killed. Vidura again came back to Dhritarashtra and said, at least now pray to Krishna, at least now surrender, leave everything, come with me. And so he took Dhritarashtra and even his wife, and Vidura went. So yes, you're right, Prabhu. In that way, Vidura is eligible to become the king. And Guna Karma Vibhagasha. But since Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra played a tricky game here, it so happened. So this is also Krishna's arrangement anyway. So
thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so Vidura is a great character. So when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will appreciate how great Vidura is. Just because, we should not identify anyone based on the birth, because it said Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Yes, Meena Mataji, Hare Krishna.
And also Vidura is the incarnation of Yamadharmaraj.
Yes, Yamaduda, very good. Yes, Yamaraj. So he is
duty to serve
Mahajan.
to preach Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So that's a nice point. Yes, Vidura is Yamaraj's incarnation. Okay, so I think we can end here. All of you, attendance are coming low. I don't know why. The attendance form has been posted so many times, Mithal Prabhu. You didn't see? Okay, Anisha Mataji, if you could post it once more for the last time. Okay. So please fill your attendance because you need to go to level 3 after this. Oh, okay, you had 5. Now you got the link, right, Prabhu? You can. It's, I don't know why, might be, okay, next week, we may not